Hey guys, it's Callus here with more Pokemon Perfect 2021 ADV Championship action. We are still in the round of 8, and here we have Siglut versus Uncle Jack. Siglut was on my ROAPL team this year, had a reasonable performance, and we did go on to win that tour, certainly partially thanks to his contributions. He is an underrated, underappreciated up-and-comer that hasn't been in the competitive scene for too long, but his fundamentals are pretty decent. He understands the tier pretty well, and I think he's got a lot of potential in ADV if he sticks with it. Real nice guy, too. Uncle Jack, I don't know as well. I've spoken to a few times and certainly perfectly polite and pleasant, but not as familiar with him as a player. It is my understanding that he is an older player who came back fairly recently and has been doing pretty well in Pokemon Perfect Tours, but beyond that, what he's played, how much he's played, I'm not sure, but he managed to qualify for this, so that's more than nothing, and let's see how he does against Siglut. As you guys know, it's best of 3 the whole time in this tour, and we're going to start, of course, with game numero uno. So, Siglut's on the bottom and Uncle Jack's on the top. Both of them have a T-Tar, the most common lead in the game. Neither one likes it, and we end up with Fori on Skarm, taunt preventing spikes, which is, of course, what he went for. Spikes now, and Zap Cannon, which is just a 50-50 coin flip, and this time, unfortunately for Siglut, he loses the flip. He does get spikes down because Skarm did not have the balls to taunt again, fearing Zap Cannon, so that left us with 1 layer each. Flamethrower is going to luckily crit against the Aerodactyl, but it doesn't burn at least. And now Arrow's going to get a free attack off, and that ends up being Rock Slide. So we're looking at either an Adamant Aerodactyl or some kind of funky Skarm that, like a YOLO Skarm or a really fast Skarm that's therefore giving up some bulk or something, but takes quite a bit from those rock slides. A lot of the time, taunt Skarms do have a lot of speed, so it might not be fully bulky the way that it otherwise might be. A lot of switching here, and we end up with Flamethrower, but gotta be careful because Flamethrower often is a mixed mence with Brick Break. Siglut, I'm sure, is aware of that, but in this case, he doesn't play around it, and he's going to get himself brick broken and out of here as Uncle Jack takes the first lead of the series. And Aerodactyl not doing so well either. It's down to about a third, suffering from the poison. Good switching from Uncle Jack, but good call out by Siglut. I like the play from both guys. I mean, Jack made a good switch. It makes a lot of sense to me. I think that was a good play to make, but Siglut had the balls to stay in and Rock Slide again, which is a play that I think a lot of players would not have made. Now Earthquake from Meta, and it's going to be another failed coin flip from Siglut as he attempts the Zap Cannon, so it's still 1 layer each. EQ, and not even 3rd time's the charm. Just fuck this, Zap Cannon sucks, here's some more spikes. Earthquake, alright, there we go, 3rd time's the charm. The world's worst T-Wave is going to connect with Meta, and it is now paralyzed. Earthquake ends the day for Fori, but not before all 3 layers of spikes get down. Earthquake, and boom, so Doll is going to die. Uncle Jack with a nice lead here at 5-3. Unrevealeds for both of them. 2 for Jack, 1 for Siglut. Mence comes in to try to do something before it dies. Calm Mind from B. Flamethrower is still going to do 43% despite the special defense boost, but of note the Celebi is faster here. Skarm's going to come in, and the balls to Calm Mind again there. Good play for Siglut. Now a serious threat in this situation, unless Jack has a Dugtrio, an Aerodactyl, or a proper special wall, such as Blissey, in the back. Seismic Toss here would be very helpful. Ice Beam may or may not get it done, depending on EVs for both. Ice Beam, not as exciting, because remember, Giga Drain, he's gaining a decent amount of that health back. There's Giga Drain again, and there's Soft Boiled for Bliss. It's interesting. It's going to actually be close. Celebi, if it gets through Bliss here, which there is a chance to do, Celebi could just sweep Jack here, which looks to be Siglut's best bet, because Jack has been ahead all game long, so he's basically all in on the Celebi at this point. If he gets it done, which like I said, he can, it'll be a great comeback for him. But if Jack somehow manages to neutralize this Celebi, which again, he can with a crit, a freeze, whatever, then I think Jack basically has the game in the bag, keeping in mind the Aerodactyl is both low and poisoned. However, That should do it for the Blissey. She'll just die to another Psychic here. Goes Giga Drain instead, sure. Man, Jack's team is really, really vulnerable to this Celebi, apparently. No Arrow, no Dougie. We know the Celebi's faster here. Mence can't do anything. He doesn't even have a chance to get a critical hit. And just like that, Siglut is just going to win. Despite the presence of the special wall Blissey, that is not even good enough to stop the Super Celebi. It's going to come in, it's going to boost up, and just like that, bam, bam, got him. So that's pretty sweet. Good comeback for Siglut. Like I said, that game was all Uncle Jack until the Celebi came in and did its thing. So, let's move to game 2 with Siglut having a 1-0 lead. We'll switch sides for continuity. Siglut remains on the bottom, and just like game 1, they both have the same lead, but it's not T-Tower this time. They've both opted for the Automaton, Metagross. Spikes come down from Cloyster. And out of the way he goes. Siglut again, why not? Busting out the Celebi, I mean, it worked before. And he gets the Cloyster in on a nice double. Now if he's faster, he can get a Boom Off or another Spike. Goes for Surf, which I think is a wise play, and he gets rewarded with a critical hit on Rachi as it comes in. Meta reappears, Rachi going for Wish, which he may or may not keep for himself. Now he gets a crit and a burn, the perfect Fire Punch there, unlucky for Siglut. Crit burn is exactly what you want in that situation, and now Meta very crippled. And Fire Punch from the faster Rachi is going to kill the Meta, so Uncle Jack once again with the first knockout and the lead. Hidden Power, that's got to be Grass. Fighting would certainly do more. And now Tower is going to DD up. Jack at this point is out of the way. He's going to go to Doll, but if this is a DD HP Bug Tower, which we see that it is, there's a crit. That could spell some real trouble for Jack. He is one Rock Slide Critter Flinch away from being in big trouble, but Siglut with the discipline to not go for it, and that really backfires because he just gets roared out. Man, how dumb do you feel not taking the opportunity to bash Kuhn there only to get roared out? He's got to be kicking himself after that. He was one Critter Flinch away from just winning the game. Nevertheless, Uncle Jack averts the crisis. However, he is stuck on Meteor Mash, cannot switch to Earthquake here, and Magneton is going to trap it and pick it off. That gives Siglut the lead now, 5-4. They both have an unrevealed in the back. Quick revenge kill for Jack leaves us in a 4-4. Still an unrevealed in the back for both guys. And now Cloyster comes in, again threatening a boom, but here's Rachi. Ice Beam. That obviously would have killed the Mence had it landed, but it does not. 13% chip damage, doesn't get the lucky freeze, and now Wish comes off. And yet again, Cloyster is going to crit the Rachi with Surf, 50%. Calm Mind, and Boom at this point is going to be good enough despite not being very effective, and that leaves us in a 3-3. Unrevealed for Siglut is now revealed to be Salamence, and we still don't know the last poke for Uncle Jack. And now we do. It's a Bliss. And there is Dragon Dance from Siglut. See if he respects the Ice Beam. T-Tar comes in. That takes Ice Beam just fine, only 18%. Rock Slide, 40%. Only to be S-tossed back. It's a non-lefties tower that will die to another Seismic Toss. All comes down to Rock Slide here. Flinch does not happen, and Blissey kills T-Tar. Leaves us in a 3-2 now with Uncle Jack in the lead. Celebi Calm Mind's up. This is going to be giving Jack scary deja vu from the game before. Celebi cleaned him up once. Can it do it again? Calm Mind and Ice Beam. Giga. That looks like Super Celebi again. Not what Jack wants to see. Salamence comes in. It's a physical Mence, so that should scare away the Celebi here with the HP flying threat. Psychic on the way out. And there is DD for a now faster Salamence, who if he has Rock Slide is going to be pretty good against Siglut. There's Hidden Power. And there's Mence. Intimidate definitely relevant here. Rock Slide missed for Uncle Jack. And Rock Slide back for Siglut. Now that Rock Slide for Jack would not have killed, so it all is going to come down to this matchup. Obviously, if Kuhn has Ice Beam, he wins. There's the DD. And Calm Mind, he's shown Calm Mind Roar. So Surf Ice Beam, not super likely as the last. It is probably Surf Rest. And man, he's going to be underwhelmed with the Surf there. So unless he's being a real jerk and he's got Ice Beam in the back, this is going to be Siglut's game. And indeed, he doesn't have it. The Surf there, even with a crit, would not have been enough. And Siglut is going to clean this one up on the back of DD-Mens. Both of these games close and tight and could have gone either way, but both are going to end the same way. It is going to be Siglut on the back of a setup sweeper, cleaning up the game and defeating Uncle Jack, eliminating him from this tournament 2-0. Jack looked good, I thought. This was a good match. They both played well. I was happy with the quality of this series. Like I said, Siglut might have been kicking himself from switching out the +2 DD-Tar against the Coon only for it to roar, but he bounced back from it pretty nicely, and the results speak for themselves. The Rock Slide miss in this last game here, it really depends, because the Rock Slide couldn't have killed there without a crit, so the miss may or may not have mattered. It only matters if he gets a crit or a flinch there, which is not likely, but certainly can happen. The miss makes it anticlimactic, but even at he hit there, it's far from guaranteed that Jack wins. And then even if he does get the crit or the flinch there, even if Jack does win, even then, it just sends us to a game 3, and who knows what could have happened there. So I don't think it's fair to say that Siglut, won the series on hacks by any means. I don't think that would be a reasonable statement. A little hacksy at the end, but a lot of the time, it doesn't even matter. Siglut wins. He's in. He's in the top 4. Jack is out. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Please leave a thumbs up if you did. And also, I am proud, happy, relieved, honored, all sorts of good stuff to announce that we did, in fact, Bush Tush and I, receive an SPL team. We will be managing the Circus Maximus Tigers again this year, and I am thrilled for that opportunity. I will certainly make some other video on that in a little more detail, but I obviously want to sincerely thank everyone who has supported me and been cheering for me in that endeavor. So, thank you very much. I will see you guys in the next video.